Well, if you looked at our earlier videos on liens, one of the things I'm sure that's going to come into your mind is, how do I keep track of these liens, these lien deadlines when I'm busy trying to run my business? And the answer is LienBoss.com. LienBoss.com is a subscription-based software program that will keep track of your liens for you. If you go to LienBoss.com and you subscribe, you'll subscribe for $150 a year. You'll put your initial program, your initial information in, and then you'll also be adding information for every job that you have. If you go to LienBoss.com, you'll see the tutorial on getting it set up. Once it's set up, it begins to track the liens for you without any further input on your part, other than to put in new information on new projects and to adjust your last date of delivery or material dates. So what will happen is you'll open the file, you'll put in your information, and 40 days after the first delivery of the material, you'll begin to receive notices from LienBoss that you're running out of time, and you'll see that those are red alerts. And those notices will then start being emailed to you 45 days after you first have delivered material or are on the job, and you'll continue to receive those notices until the 60th day. If you, for any reason, change that first date, it'll recalibrate that first date, and it'll begin to send you notices along the lines of the new date. So that takes care of your first notice. Now, you also know from the previous video that you've got to file your lien within 6 months of the last delivery of the material or the last provision of the labor. And before you can file your lien, you've got to send a notice of intent 30 days before you file your lien. So your absolute critical deadline is the 5 months after you've last delivered the material or supplied any labor. And what will happen is that on 90 days, the job as you open your page, the job will show its alert in red. And starting from 120 days from the end of the last delivery of the material or the last labor, you'll begin to start receiving email alerts. And you'll receive them until you have 7 days left on your notice of intent. In other words, 7 days short of the 5 months. There's no reason why you should wait that long. You should be moving along these things at 90 days or no more than 120 days. After that first notice of intent has been filed on your behalf by LienBoss, LienBoss will then let you know that the notice has been filed, and then it will begin to track 30 days before the deadline. You'll start getting red alerts reminding you that you've got to file that lien within 30 days, otherwise you've lost your lien. This means that you can go on running your projects and paying attention to what you should be doing, which is getting your work done, getting your material in, taking care of your laborers or whatever has to be done, and you don't have to worry about these deadlines. The other objection frequently raised about liens is that they seem to cost too much. If you go to a lawyer and the lawyer's time is very expensive and begins costing you some time, well, LienBoss again has reduced that cost because that first notice of intent is $17.95. That notice of intent, the one that you have to send out 30 days before you file your lien, that's also $17.95. So for $35, $36, $37 per project, the tracking has been done for you. Now the lien itself will be $95, pardon me, be $95. There's a lot of work involved with that. You've got to get some recordings and some sends off to the clerk of courts and things like that. Most most projects will pay on the notice of intent rather than on the lien. But again, you're going to be receiving notices, and for a pretty reasonable amount of money, you're going to be able to put yourself in the position of having your lien filed, which improves your position of collection. Does it guarantee the collection? No. Go back and see our earlier video about that. But it certainly will improve your ability to go out and to get your money collected and go on with the next job.